Right, moving on to topic 2. We have Harrow is an amazing frame, but when you have to be better than your allies, it's an issue. Interesting a lot. Right. When you have to be better than your allies, it's an issue. When you're playing with AoE/map clearing frames, Harrow's 3 underperforms in regaining energy, making it harder to play his kit. I don't. There's. Could? Is that supposed to be could? Could. I think that's supposed to be could. Could we add an additional mechanic for all deaths in an AoE scaling with range or something to count towards the energy kills?
Yeah, it's literally. I think Tobias trying to expand this, so I'll read the original one for you. It's to regen energy with his 3. Could we add an additional mechanic for all deaths in an AoE scaling with range or something to count towards the energy kills? That might supplement/help when playing with allies/map clearing frames. Right. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the idiot question for everyone. For me. What does his 3 do?
His third ability, which I've got, I think this is the thing. Actually, I should just have the wiki up all times as a spare thing. But I was actually reading this one because I used to play Harrow and really liked him, and I wanted to be him as my new support frame over Trinity, but I just kind of thought he was too much work. And so the third ability is Thurible. Channel Harrow's energy into the Thurible to generate a buff. Once finished, kill enemies to dispow nearby allies with bursts of energy. The more energy channeled, the greater the reward for each kill. Headshots produce energy. So you activate it and you do the until you run out of energy. Yeah, channel energy, right? And then pressing the ability again stops the channeling, and it causes the Thurible to generate an aura of incense around Harrow. It's a radius of 20 meters, lasts for 35 seconds while active. While active, each enemy killed, key point here, by Harrow restores the charged amount of energy to Harrow and all allies in his aura. If an enemy is killed by headshot, the amount restored by player is multiplied by 4. So that's I don't know, let's chat with you. You played Harrow much?
Not lately.
Oh yeah, same. I liked him at first, but it's just I'm waiting for that helmet. That helmet, when that helmet comes, oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking through all his abilities for Harrow, and like his second ability is kind of just like a lot of effort to give health to people. A lot of effort to give fire rate and reload speed. That to himself. Get this wrong. It's just he's. I'm starting to look at him.
Harrow is a really complicated warframe.
Yeah, but I'm starting to look at him as Trinity with more steps.
Yes, it really is.
I mean, there are a few little extra things you squeeze out with it, but it does feel like a lot of effort for not an additional, not much gain for it. Like, I've not played Equinox, but I feel Equinox is much simpler compared to this, now that I really try and get my head around it again. I used to know Harrow very well.
What around what other frames did Harrow come out?
Ooh, good question.
Oh God.
Release list.
You're gonna make me look this up. Well, while Loz is looking that up, I don't know, like, I remember I was challenged at one point in time to play Harrow when I was doing the the trashy challenge thing where someone would give me a bad build and I'd have to, but like, I had to learn how to play Harrow. I was never a fan of Harrow because like there are so many caveats to how he works, and to me personally, he fucks over so many other Warframes abilities. I remember like playing what
in the mountains.
No. We were not in the mountains at this point. We were on top of the mountains because the bloody Eidolons were there. I remember playing Eidolon fights. I was the Oberon. I was healing the what those siphon things called? Whatever they're called. The lures. Yeah, the lures. I was constantly healing them, and then my Oberon was entirely reliant on taking damage during the wave thing from the Eidolons. I'd cast Hallowed Ground, so I wouldn't take the magnetic debuff, but I'd still take the damage, and as a result, my energy would just fly through the roof, and I was still able to keep healing people. However, if I ever played with a Harrow, their gut reaction was to cast Covenant, and as a result, make everyone invulnerable, and I would run out of energy. Right?
That does sound like a team building issue. Like you could just tell them,
No,
hey,
100%. 100%.
Don't do
But
this.
I do feel Harrow suffers from this whole team building issue. Like the fact that, Thorable is down to Harrow doing the killing. Well, if someone else does all the killing, you get fuck all. Right? It's that is, everyone kills all the enemies in the condemn, and it is just like
the situation is kind of like this. Kind of makes me see why most games try to limit their class number to single digits.
It's getting that way, isn't it? Oh, many.
Like, I know people that really like Harrow, but at the same time, he is just, I don't know, maybe whoever's playing Harrow, you need to take specific weapons. Maybe you need to take weapons that just do huge AoE damage and just fire in the general direction. Oh, you can't take a Harrow without taking
the ability itself,
Ignis Wraith.
But the ability itself, I can't remember how good it is to get headshots with, or how easy it is to get headshots in Ignis Wraith, because I've not really used it much recently. But the whole thing is clearly trying to design you to be able to be a sniper. I mean, because it's all about getting headshots. You could just do it by blowing stuff up, and you've got nuke frames. But yeah,
I think one of the issues with the Harrow might be that he was kind of designed around working with the weapons that were released with him.
Oh, sorry,
Since
I've got the.
I remember that the pistol that was with him also had some specific headshot benefits.
Interesting set. So he came out in June of 2017. Earlier that year we had Octavia. Later the year we had Gara, and then followed 2018 by Cora. Before Octavia was Nidus and Titania. That was kind of the region. Yes, maybe seeing as Gara's coming out for Prime Access, maybe we'll get Harrow soon. Maybe we'll get a Prime version of his guns. Maybe that'll help. Look if I can see what he came out with.
But even so, if you have Warframes, if you're Sauron has been a very core staple of top DPS Warframe for a long time. And, because she just wipes the board constantly. Ember was the same until they nerfed her.
Honestly, Sauron was actually... Well, I actually play Sauron quite a lot, and I will say that before they changed how her first works, playing her was she was powerful, but playing her could get really boring.
So was this her rework, or are we talking about there's another thing?
I think that was rework, because when they added that the longer you have her one affecting enemy, the more damage it would do per tick. Before that, there was a sequence you had to do with her to cause maximum damage, and it was all you were doing with her, so it just kind of got boring.
Wasn't there something like you cast the molt, then you put the orbs on the molt, then you spread the orbs, then you use the ultimate to topple the orbs or something like that?
You cast the molt, you put the orbs on the molt, then you cast the ultimate, because casting ultimate pops the molt, and it spreads the orbs before the first tick of the ultimate's damage.
Yes, there you go. Whereas now she's got a whole unique UI to do, as you say, the longer the orbs are on.
Yeah. But even so, the point is that there are Warframes that will... there are just Warframes that don't gel well with other Warframes. Right? And I kind of feel that Harrow would make sense if there was a challenge in the game. If you weren't able to just murderize literally everything under the sun, and things took time to kill, it would make sense to have Harrow in the game because you would have to slow, you were having
Harrow seems to be better designed for a slower pace of game.
Yeah.
Something that Warframe doesn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Like what? Standing still? What's that? Oh, you mean the clan emblem challenge? Ah, I see. And yeah, so my question is, what other Warframes also do not gel well with playing with others?
Also, depending on if you can run into trouble with running Trinity if you are running with a lot of AoE nuke frames. Well, there's actually really a comic that I remember seeing with three AoE heavy frames asking the Trinity why they run out of energy, and Trinity saying, "Well, I would provide you with energy if you stopped killing everybody."
Yeah, yeah, totally envision that. I think Grendel would be another one because Grendel's entirely reliant on consuming the enemy, and if the enemy's all dead, that's why Grendel's not playable in Conclave, because you can't eat anything. His abilities don't work. At least that was the then. I don't know if they've changed it now. I don't think they have. Loz, you gone quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at his ultimate and try to see what the exact, because see, that's the thing that maybe he would be useful, because it's a critical chance bonus. It's like, oh wow, this must be the unique thing he gives. I mean, come on, critical chance bonus. You think everyone would be like, whoa, we've got to have that every mission because that makes big numbers, but doesn't seem to really bring, because there's just so many steps to get there, and it only lasts for a small amount of time, really. Starts maximum only 12 seconds. That's not very long, is it? I just see. I think Harrow is due for a big rework. One thing I want for Throughball, by the way, I still want this, is in the bit when you're swinging it, you can hit enemies with it. Please, come on! I just think that bit, it's like, oh, you're spinning this thing, you can't do anything? Why not make it that you can bash enemies with it, and that buffs it up some more? Why not? I think it'd be good. But yeah, I can see that it's so much work with him. It's just, And you'd think, you were saying about frames and things working together and things. Harrow, oh, let's just do the, does anyone know what Harrow's passive is? It's not bad, but...
Overshield.
Ah, good memory there.
Damn it.
So you'd think, like, oh my god, Hildren, Trinity, and Harrow together would be a crazy team. I mean, you'd be restoring shields over here, and then you'd be turning them into buffs, and people would have all the energy. Doesn't seem to happen, does it? It just seems very strange, yeah. Just too much work. I mean, I suppose, like, vertic damage affects into health, into out. Yeah, because, and things like his penance. And the other thing is, as the original poster is suggesting, maybe we should see a lot more effects being shared through the team. His augment on his first ability. Oh god, yeah. If you want, we're saying he's a lot of work, right? Just want to point out the augment of his first ability. His first ability, you cast it, it like chains enemies in place. Easy to get headshots with them. They're chained like, and that gives him overshields as well. His augment for this. Okay. Condemn augment. Other players will proc 50% the effects of penance and throughball, that's his 2 and his 3, when attacking chained enemies. So what that means is you have the Harrow has to chain enemies and then have the other 2 abilities buffs up or in effect, and then if another player shoots a chained enemy, they proc half the effect of the buffs that the Harrow gets. Have I lost you? I've lost myself,
Harrow
really.
Harrow just seems like excessive amounts of busy work.
Yeah. I hadn't played him since, when I played him before that augment came out, but that augment just feels insane. Like, it's just crazy. What's the augment on this one? Allies in range takes 40% less damage while channeling throughable. It's like, that's great, but again, it's Trinity with more steps. Like, so while you're channeling your throughball, you give people damage reduction and grant a bit of energy recharge. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. Augment on the ultimate. Headshot kills increased crit chance bonus duration for 3 seconds. So again, it's do you know what game he'd fit well in?
Oh, fucking Outriders,
He's teaming
isn't he?
Outriders. He'd be well at home.
Yeah, he bloody dominating Outriders.
Oh yeah, it'd be best class. Ultimate support class. It's just, oh dear. I think this is why I stopped on him, because it's just, you have to think a lot. That sounds terrible. I have to think while playing my game.
No, to be fair, I don't feel Harrow is a thinky frame, right? I feel Harrow has a set condition of like, oh, you have like Saren, you're like, oh, I have to press 3, so I have to press 1, then I have to press 3, and then I have to press 4 in order to actually, do that. That's what Harrow is, except for at any one point in time, your allies could just completely fuck you over. Right? And then you have to start again. Yeah?
Yeah.
At least with Saren, no one else can pop your malt.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's... I just feel that, Harrow is so much busy work.
But just, it's doing his own thing the whole time, isn't it? You're like, okay, I'm Harrow, I'm going to engage with some enemies, right? So I want to chain them to the floor. All right, well, let's penance myself, get some fire rate buff and some reload speed up. Right, so I'm good with my gun now. Right, so any damage I do, now I'll heal myself and my allies, right? Okay, while I'm doing that, let me just channel this up a bit. Woody. Right, now, if I shoot that thing, which I've chained to the floor, with a headshot, because it's not moving, I'll give energy to myself and my allies. This is be brilliant. It was dead 15 seconds ago.
Yep.
Playing his own game. Like, four Harrows would be fun. He's playing their own game.
Well, again, I haven't played Harrow in a long time, but how would playing him in a team would compare with playing him solo?
He'd be a great solo frame.
Yeah, I think he'd be great. So, like, oddly enough, it's actually easier to get Harrow solo than it is with a teammate. Even with one teammate, because it's the defection mission type. It's so much easier to do that if no one else is around.
Starts as he means to go on.
Yeah. I think with so all how his abilities works, I do think that one issue it might be that they try to make him specifically his abilities synergize with the weapons that he was released with.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what those were.
I think the pistol was Nell.
Nell,
Yeah.
yes. I wonder if I can get.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get to this without.
The Nell and the staff, right? Staff gun. Yeah.
What are we looking for?
The Nell.
The Nell is Harrow's signature pistol that utilizes its scope to be more accurate, landing shots at long range. Although its magazine capacity only holds 1 round, 2 when equipped by Harrow, headshots grant an infinite ammunition and increases critical multiplier and status chance for a short duration, making it a high-risk, high-reward weapon. I remember the duration is something utterly disgusting. Right. Headshot triggers by Death Knell buff additively increase the modded critical multiplier by 0.5 times and modded critical status chance by 20%, and grants unlimited ammo for 2 seconds. Stacked up to 3 times. Sorry, I missed that. I saw the 2 seconds.
It's still not great.
Stacks up to 3 times and can be refreshed on consecutive headshots. Good fire rate. That's actually the next point. Good fire rate. What is the fire rate on this thing? Fire rate. 4 rounds per second.
Right.
What's the reload time? 2 seconds.
Well,
high risk, high reward is a fucking understatement.
So I think Honestly, I do think that they should just rework the Harrow to work on it or on his own, since it definitely feels like it was not only he was made specifically to synergize more with his weapons. Those weapons seems to have been made to more synergize with each other. Since the Scourge, which is his the staff gun thing he has,
Scourge.
his alternate fire. You throw it, it releases the shockwave that puts bullet attractor on enemies' heads.
What's the fucking weapon swap time? He's
Well,
like,
you can
throw
get
stuff. Yeah. Bang! Throw stuff.
Well, no, these days it would count as a melee throw, and then you tap, and you'd be right back to your pistol. So.
No, it's a primary weapon.
Or is it? Wait, is it? Oh, I thought it was a melee.
It's the alt fire on the
primary.
it's the alt fire on the primary weapon.
Yeah, staffs are primary. The staffs are primary.
Yeah, sorry,
So
I thought it was yeah.
You have to take the weapon swap argument. It just every single time we talk about this, it's just like it just caveats a new thing. You have to play him this way, and like, oh my god, it's just getting way too complicated. Why can't I play? No, you have to play it this way.
I think Yumi's hit the nail on the head. Is that literally this is a frame where they went, let's have weapons built around it, and then until we see the prime version of those weapons to really actually make Harrow decent in some way. Yeah, I'm shocked. I didn't know about that. I just played Harrow as is. I didn't realize.
The big thing for me is, I gave up on things like the Nell because, like, seriously, what the hell?
I think I equipped it independently. It was like, what the point of this?
Right, but to me, like, people complain about the fact that the nullifier bubble can obscure the satellite, right? And
yeah, I guess.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Loz. You're pretty much like, QQ, right? Crimea River. This it's just like, oh, you have to get headshots. Yeah, but that also means that the enemies have to be fucking facing you.
Yeah, well, but you throw the stick, and then you don't have to have them facing you.
I would have thought still the projectile, like the hit scan and the weapon still requires unless the bullet can just go straight through the torso and still count as a headshot.
I think it does. Let's have a look what it says. Impaling enemies along its path, physical damage, inflicting critical damage. In a large area, finally it creates a pulse amplifies bullet attractor debuff on enemies on the enemies nearby heads. Bullets and projectiles fired at enemies will be drawn to the head. However, this does not guarantee a headshot.
Yeah.
Bullet attractor debuff we applied. Yeah, okay, so like charges, you're still going to have problems. With the heads being on the bottom.
Yeah.
You have to aim down.
Yeah, mowers.
Mowers.
This just seems so complicated, needlessly complicated. Okay.
So let's go back to the original topic here. They've said Harrow is an amazing frame, but when you have to be better than your allies. Can we just change that to be when you have to be
godlike?
No. When you need to have 3 spreadsheets open more than your allies do, it's an issue.
Oh my god, he is so bloody complicated.
I just played him as is. Yeah, it's just new depths.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember trying to do this. I'm like, I think I'm going to go back to Oberon.
So let me change my let me change my story. Harrow's like, right, I has to engage some enemies. Waha, they're there. Chain them to the ground. Throw my primary weapon. Pull out my secondary weapon. Whip myself a bit. Spin my thing around a bit. Right now, if I shoot them with this, it'll hit them in the head and give me energy and thus give health to everyone in nearby. Everyone's like, and then Tumbleweed rolls by as there's nobody within 50 meters of him. Everything's dead.
You know what? I just want to I want to swap to Equinox now and just do like a main build, a constant main build. Like, yeah, Harrow, buddy, I'm gonna fuck you up.
The frame that is literally 2 frames in one is simpler than this thing. His mess. And yeah, Yumi, you well done on remembering, and I think you're completely right on the way he just built around these guns, and it's just like, I like the idea of I can see they were trying to make something really interesting and unique. Could I have a second class?
Yeah.
Should we?
It does seem like something that was probably looked a lot better on paper than it did in what we got.
I just feel Harrow could work if the enemies weren't paper people.
Yes, Harrow
if the enemies, if the enemies could survive for more than half a second.
That's the two things about it. He's made to work with his synergize with his weapons, which aren't very good, and it feels like he's designed for a game that's a lot slower.
Yeah. Question is, was Warframe a lot slower back then?
Well, no, because I can't remember. I've got that list out, but that list had like Octavia came out before him, and Octavia is a case of buffs for everyone explode everything.
Disco.
Exactly. They were like, let's slow things down and make a frame for a completely different game. So it was like, we'd rather be making this game, but we can't.
But do remember, this is still pre... Oh, God. Catchmoon. And Catchmoon was like the most broken pistol in the universe. This is also still pre... a lot of the melee stuff. So guns were still... I think this is pre...
That's a fair point, is that... What's the point of a frame with headshots and everything and shooting and all this other stuff and weapons which are about shooting when we're in a melee-centric game right now? Yeah. This is very true. But, right. So we've torn the poor thing to pieces, and this poor OP says, I think it's all right, but... Should we have a look at the replies? Okay. First reply. When you have to be better than your allies, it's an issue.
No. You're reading the OP again.
Oh, God, no. Damn it. Why do I keep doing that? I'm failing miserably at lines today. Right, here we are. Sorry. Yes. That still sums it up. Anyway.
Yeah.
I used to have this problem too. Then I did a random disruption mission and I found a weird thingy called Acarius. I have mostly able to supply my random teammates with energy since that moment. Acarius? What's that? Can't type in
Hold on, let me
you do that.
I do that.
Well, let's read the next reply. Harrow just feels like he belongs in a different video game. He would be good in some other shooters, entirely useless in Bugframe. Limited targeted CC and builds based around slow play / headshots. That's true.
Acarius is Gauss's signature burst fire dual launchers that fires a pair of homing rockets with high status chance and a large 7.2 meter explosion radius. And uniquely, this weapon reloads faster while sprinting and reloads even faster when wielded by Gauss. So they're twin rocket launchers? They're pistols, by the way.
Oh, those! Yes, I remember those now. Yes.
I don't think I've ever properly used them, but yeah, so apparently, I mean, yeah, if that I don't know if explosions hit the head, like count as headshots or anything like that.
Explosions, you can get easy headshots. I'm not sure about Ignis, but I'm pretty sure explosions you can.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I've mostly been able to use for energy since that moment. Ah, yes, okay. Right, next one is, what if DE implemented frames into the full release for several weeks? Only for staff to have them obtain the frame normally, rank and progress them in public. Most of the issues should come to light before full release.
What?
What if DE implemented frames into full release for several weeks, only for staff? To have them obtain the frame normally, rank and progress with them in public. Most of the issues should come to light before full release. What they're trying to say is, make DE play the game with the character as they expect us to do before they release it, and that way they can go, oh yeah, this is painful.
No, I don't think this highlights the problem. Like, part of me kind of...
Also, isn't that that's called QA testing?
Yeah. I mean, regardless of what this person is saying, right? I don't think Harrow was as at a disadvantage as he is today.
Yes, you're saying he needs another pass, basically.
Yeah, effectively, because I'm pretty sure back then, it's fine.
No, I even then I remember going. That's the thing. I remember playing him on release sort of time because I love Chains of Harrow so much, right? And I do remember thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to do this, then I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this, and then I'd try and do them, and I'd be like, oh no, that person's just oh no, that person's just killed. Oh no, they've killed. Okay, I'll go over here, and oh no, they're dead now, and then I'll stick you to. Oh, you're dead, and then I'll just do this for a bit, and then I'll shoot some enemies with headshots. Enemies anywhere? No, they're all dead.
Yeah.
So I felt that at the time. So yeah. But one thing, and I bring this point up because I think DE said this in a thing once that they're saying if they make DE play it or staff members play it before they release the thing, that will fix all the problems. No, it won't, because especially developers will go, this is meant to be played like this, so I will play it like this, and they'll feel it's fine. They'll play it whenever they. But it's when you hand it out to the community, it gets in one day of it being on live, will get more time, I think, than they made some line. It's something like maybe 1 week. Maybe 1 week of it being live is more internal testing than they can do in a year. I think.
Yeah, I think it's a day. No, I do genuinely think it's a day.
Yeah, because so many people are trying it, and everyone's going to have their own different idea, and they can take in different directions. So if they'd have to keep it in studio for a year, and they're like, right, we think we figured out all the things to make this balanced, or they can push it out for a day, and everyone can give their feedback, and then they can change it next week. Much easier.
As I said, it's. I think it's something that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, that developers simply can't know if something works or not until they have pushed it out the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
the thing I linked you. I know you'd seen it before, Xeno, with the this goes in the square hole.
Oh God! So, should we try and find that and actually link that to everyone?
Yeah, or we can put it in links. We can put in the links for the thing. Yeah, there's a perfect example of why that wouldn't work for everyone. Why? Yeah.
I'm going to list this as the perfect dev example. Yep. And then we'll get that for later. But yeah, it's just like you can never guess what players are going to do. Anyway, right. Is there any more?
There is one last one, which is getting Sevagoth ranking flashbacks. His shadow is awesome, but if you've got nuking frames on an exterminate, you'll be lucky to fill your shadow meter before kill limit's reached. That's true, yeah. Yeah, on exterminate, Harrow's like, right, I'm gonna do all of my things, and I'm gonna freeze them to the ground. And no, we're all the exit panel.
Actually, no. Do you know the one place I think Harrow would truly shine?
Ooh.
Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Because the game doesn't give two flying fucks about spawning enemies in front of you, whereas the rest of the game is really considerate at making sure that the enemy appears naturally, so they are spawning away from you to come towards you.
Yeah.
ESO, just like, there's an enemy. Oh, cool! Bang, bang, bang! You know, like.
And even if everyone kills everything now, there'll be more mobs in 2-3 seconds time for you to keep headshotting.
Or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's kind of. Harrow is one of those frame. It does maybe one of those frames where it's more a right tool for the right job situation rather than just something you play. Yeah, something you play generally.
Yeah,
that's a good way. Yeah, summing it up. Good. Yes. Right.
Cool. Right. Actually, to be fair, like, I don't know how often people use Necros outside of farming shit.
Yeah.
Right tool, right job. Anyway, right.
You made it funny.
I did. Right. So that's it for this topic. If you want to listen to the full episode, like the community shoutouts and the memes and everything, you can go to the description below and the end slate, which should be right now, and click on the link to the full episode. You get to see everything. You get to see the platinum giveaways. You get to participate in the platinum giveaways. You get to see the graphs from last week. You get to see the community responses, that from last week, so on and so forth. Loz reads all the comments, so please comment in the comment section below. And can't think of anything else to add to this, so we'll see you for next week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Right, okay.